Yeah, just so Tulsi Gabbard knows. And whatever reason, Candace Owens got into the playbook of why I had to read her posts and get caught up with thinking about her. And same with Tulsi, if it wasn't no hidden intention. But what's it called? This has been going on for some time. What's not mentioned about the Occupy entrapment, and then this whole fucking gaslight that deceived Washington from the Tippy Gang leader was I believe I'm don't quote me on this, and the V2K just stated that this agency, the Joint Coalition Task Force, what's it called, is busting me right now. That's because I exposed their bitch asses. Flat the fuck out. They're the fucking reason why the Occupy got set up. They had a specific agency that was designed to set up the Occupy, to monitor it and set it up. Flat out. The Occupy movement was infiltrated in certain cities to be violent. But the goal of the ultimate Occupy, to my knowledge, was not violence. It was for social change. It was a movement. You understand? Direct democracy. There was a lot of communists and Nazis, uh, what's it called? Atheists, cult, Christians, Democrats, Republicans, direct democracy, representative democracy, members, what's it called? Man, it was like downtown tent for the most part was like fucking Nelson's Legends, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, everyone was drum circling and like doing drugs and shit. That's not why I was there. I wasn't seeking nothing. I was literally documenting an event. Nobody trusted me at that fucking movement, bro. I'm telling you. But the thing about the Joint Coalition Task Force, and I have to research it again. The groups that were designed to through the Joint Coalition Task Force, through if it's the DHS or the NSA, FBI, CIA, Infraguard, all that, whoever I'm missing, I'm not educated, man. Like I said, I've gone through personal experience, bro. I'm educating myself as I go. With this microchip, it makes it almost impossible to do so. There's evidence at the Occupy when I was staying with certain people that somebody microchipped me there also. And for since 2012, 2013, I've been running around like a hooligan. What's it called? With one non-consensual and unaware. But I know for a fact in 2008, 19, when I was in Detroit, that the V2K said the person was. I'm not gonna mention any kind of criminal, organized crime, mafia, or cartel or government agency that the individual was a part of, because I do not know. What I can confirm is the person said that the V2K stated that the person that injected it in my ear was a Jamaican. I don't know if he was full blooded Jamaican. I don't know where his ancestry comes back, if from Africa, through the diaspora of the transatlantic slave trade. I don't know where his ethnic culture originates in Africa, because it is relevant for African Americans to understand where your people are from, and people that are involved in the slave trade and end up in another country. It's relevant to find out who the fuck your ancestors were when you talk about slavery, when you talk about oppressors, when you talk about empires, when you talk about conflict zones of 2025 Africa specifically. Native American politics is a whole nother issue, man, in America. But pretty much for Africans included, this is where, black, you know, black lives, right? Man, look at black crime, melanin crime. That's not the point. The point is in America, the point is we don't all stand together, bro. And the thing about that is African Americans that came over here from the transatlantic slave trade, man, you come from ancient kingdoms. You understand that? Ancient kingdoms and modern kingdoms, modern governments, modern countries that are there right now. And there's global conflict zones with Nazi, communist, Freemasonic occult, blah, 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 blah. That's all I'm going to say about that chip implant Jamaican, supposedly, is I know for a fact he had to be a Freemason and worship Lucifer because that kind of technology, that microchip, is not a Christian technology. It's an occult technology. So, what the final point I'm trying to wrap up about this DHS, NSA, motherfucking CIA, FBI, it's all of the organizations mentioned, of the Joint Coalition Task Force that was started after. I got to research this again because if it's a branch off of the DHS, the DHS was started after the 9/11 attacks. Sorry, there's an external noise that made me fucking trip from a car pulling in the neighbor's driveway. And what's it called? By entrapping the international Occupy, their network internationally succeeded. You understand? The DHS technically is a void organization because 9/11 was an inside job. The focus on the Patriot Act and all of George Bush's bullshit, you know, he wasn't Putin's bitch, but he was the Saudi Arabians' bitch to this day, and Afghanistan's bitch, and Iran's bitch. Whoa, what's it called? Nazi fuck. And then what's it called? Talking about crusades. So look at the Fourth Crusade with the Orthodox, bro, and look at the Orthodox standpoint on Freemasonry. And the thing about that is the DHS should have never been created. The Patriot Act should have never been enacted. The Freedom Act with its revisions should have never been acted. Everything decision with the NSA should not have been created. All that bullshit cabal that stemmed off of 2001 September 11th attacks. The only thing that should have been done was the 9/11 commission report, which was done by independent analysts. I don't know if they're a Democrat or whatnot, if that fucking matters. What's it called? Or if they were Nazi or not, if that fucking matters, which it always does. What's it called? For the rest of history is I lost my train of thought. The V2K saying they're arresting me. The blood gang woken up to me. V2K statement. Congratulations. See, you see how they cut me off when I was saying I wanted to fight Jaco when he hit my sister and how it made me act, my fight response. And right now, with this critical point I'm trying to make about history, what's it called? Had 9/11 been analyzed independently by the commission report and they actually did their job and explained what the fuck happened, they would have targeted the individuals that actually blew up the fucking Trade Center, man. Well, Boeing automated flight simulator, etc., like Building 7, everything else. Don't make me talk about 9/11. Make me talk about, I mean, just look up Zeitgeist and then look up Zeitgeist debunked. That's the joke. But that's where you start. You know what I'm saying? That's how I found out. I watched the Zeitgeist movie in 2007 in high school. A girl gave me a copy of a CD. I thought of her name just now, but I'm not going to mention it. So the remote neural monitoring is going to monitor her network. But what's it called? And I'm thinking of her last name right now. What's it called? I did have a crush on her when I was in 8th grade and 9th grade. And then what's it called? Had those organizations not been created, that shit, the Occupy might have never happened. If the Occupy happened and they weren't influenced by those organizations' entrapment and the MK Ultra and gang stalking techniques, the movement wouldn't have been violent in certain places like Oakland, California, and Greece, and so on and so forth. Had the Cleveland Five been found out ahead of time that they were being entrapped and didn't go through with the bridge bombing plot, I mean, they would have just set up someone else, right? But the thing about it is if that movement, which to my knowledge is still running today, yeah, right, fuck that. You got to start something wholly new, bro. You got to start something fucking completely new if you want to continue to occupy. You got to create a completely new movement that even if all members are tied to the Occupy, you got to completely fucking start over, bro, with a new name and everything. But say it's maybe continuation of the Wall Street movement because that or it's just fucked, bro. Yeah, had it taken off for whatever reason, other people have stated to me that through government roundup and for martial law in America, that the Occupy movement was a roundup and how everyone was marked on the terror watch list. It was a roundup of all free thinkers, communists, radicals, uh, everyone that questions the government or wants independent democracy and independent autonomy. Now, had that Cleveland Five not gone through with it or proved that they were being set up, and then the entrapment agent exposed and the agency exposed and diverted their attention more to security concerns and focusing on things like 9/11 and so on and so forth, proving the facts that it is an inside job. What's it called? I mean, we could have shut down the Patriot Act. We could have shut down the Freedom Act. We could have shut down members of the DHS. We could have shut down members of the CIA, if not the CIA altogether, because there's a difference between military intelligence and the Central Intelligence Agency in the history of America. And just who knows what would have happened. That's the final message. The final message to Tulsi Gabbard. Final message to Candace Owens. Final message to Gia. Final message to Shara. Final message to whoever the fuck is listening. Because I don't have anyone. I'm just putting it out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck would have happened, man? What would have happened if they didn't get set up here in Cleveland? What would have happened to me personally? My life. All these fucking people moved into my neighborhood, married into families, had kids, bro. You know what I'm saying? In this business run Cleveland, we're silently pinning it on me. Silently for years. I foresaw what they did to me with the Tippy Gang leader years ago. I foresaw it when I was praying for security knowledge in 2023, 2020, 2013, 2014 when I was living in this house by myself. I foresaw how they could set me up. I foresaw how they could gaslight me. But I prepared for it. You hear me? I didn't know anything about a microchip. I didn't know anything till this past year about the information about it through Jesse Beltran, MyNexusLive.com, through Republic Senate candidate John Flynn of Connecticut, who I found in my For Me section on X. Thank you, bro. You saved my fucking life. John Flynn, you saved my life. I owe you a life debt forever. Forever. Once I get this bug out, I owe you John Flynn, and I owe you Jesse Beltran. Let that be known. And what I owe you is my allegiance, due to the fact that you freed me from my slavery, and you're fighting the truth fight on such a level. Jesse Beltran, now and MyNexusLive.com Cosmic Clarity Connections, is my role model in America. He is my chief role model. I respect Jesse Beltran more than the generals of the United States military. Flat out. I respect Jesse Beltran more than the President of the United States, flat out. You're not even talking about the microchip program, let alone trying to shut it down. But you claim to want to end slavery. Let's leave it at that. For the deep state battle, you have to understand, man. I witnessed this shit. I witnessed this shit for since 2012, 11, as a personal victim. I witnessed what they did, man. I spent my time devoted to security knowledge from God, Yahweh, the Holy Spirit. You can't fight me. You don't understand that. The reason why I have so much attention, the reason why all this other shit is because I'm a servant of God, Yahweh, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit. I'm a Christian, Orthodox, Eastern Greek Catholic. When I was baptized, I'm trying to join the Greek Orthodox or Antiochian Orthodox Church since 2009. We'll talk about this all as we continue, but I just need to make that point across that these agencies, through the Occupy entrapment of the Cleveland Five, and me personally, whatever you hear about me in the United States, Washington, to the president, to United Nations, to all the nations, to Ukraine, to everyone and everywhere else. North Sentinel Island, what up? It's my fucking people. And then what's it called? What's it called? Yeah. Understand where the war is at. Understand what to do about me. Understand. Stop playing weaponized psychiatry. Stop calling me paranoid. Stop fucking playing the cover up game of covering up the microchip with a false diagnosis, and start fucking talking about some real shit. Because I was a part of some real shit, bro. I was a part of some real fucking bullshit that was a movement. When you're a part of a movement in history, it moves history. You have no idea what it feels like to be a part of a movement, an international movement, unless you are a part of an international movement. You never know what it's like. You just witness the movement if you're not a part of it. But when you're a part of an international movement, you move history. You change it. I'm not gonna stop, man. I'm gonna change history until I die, bro. I don't have a life. I haven't had a life since that happened to me. I don't plan on it getting any better until I die. It's just gonna increase the suffering year after year after year. But what also increases is your strength and your endurance and your ability to deflect the blow. You know what I'm saying? And your intelligence, your natural intelligence, and your network. God bless.